Okay, so this is unboxing the USB hub. I've just got it out of the packet. So that's a new USB hub. I did mean to buy the C type, but I ended up buying an A type USB. But anyway, it's here, so I'm going to put it in. Yeah, plug your phone into that one, obviously. They did give you a little USB-C adapter there, and these are the cables. They're the two cables you need. They run together. They give you a tool, a few zip ties, and a few little foam sticky pads to wrap over the wiring so it doesn't rattle and make noise behind the dash. 2016 Mazda 6 Apple Play. I've taken the gear knob off. I'll put that in a second. So we've got to swap out this USB hub here. It's in the back of the console. Removing the gear shifter. You can just grab it and pull it up. It's a fair sort of a jerk. And once the gear knob is off, then we can lift this up out of the road. So you pretty much just grab this and lift it up. I'll put the camera here and you see, and just lift that up. It just unclips. So I just had to push on this one, was a little bit sticky on that side, so lift that. Once you get that up a bit, then you got the wires holding that in. Right, so just the two wires there, one for the handbrake. That button was really hard to do. I had to push it with a tool, and the control knob. And, right, so take these two side pieces off. You just grab them from up the top here. There's a little, you can just get your finger in underneath there and just give it a good pull, and off it comes. So there's all those white clips that clip in to there. So one side panel and the other side panel is the same. Right, then once they're both out of the road, then you just get under the back of this, lift it up, and just all pops up out of there. Got your wires. Actually, there you go, unplug that one down there. So the sport mode button unplugged there. Just take that out of there. And this should just come out of the road. Okay, so once you got the top off, that out, then this panel, you just reach in there and just push it backwards. It just unclips back there. Get into this sucker here. Unplug the big one. Push the button, then you can pull this out. And you got to get to those little clips up in there. So you just got to swap these hubs over. You see how those you push down. If I start on these two top ones, push both of them and get it just pushed out that little bit. So it's started. Hold a little bit of pressure on it. It just keeps popping back in. A pain in the ass. I'm trying to be gentle because I don't want to break all the plastics, because it is only plastic. So I've popped them, put that through. I've really pushed it through a long way now, and it should really just need to pop those, and out it comes. Right, so that's the old one. That's the original Mazda one. This is the upgraded version. It has the two plugs in it for the Apple Play. Remember, you got your SD card in there. Take the SD card out and put it into the new one. And then you just want to pop that sucker back in. And it just pushes in, just clips into place like that. Alright, so at the USB hub unit, you've got the black and the brown. At the head unit, you've got the green, grey and grey blue. So grey blue is the head unit and grey green is the head unit. So those two are the head unit, and the other end is at the USB hub. So I'm going to start wrapping those together. Put them together like that, so they go into the back like that, opposite way, blue that side, green that side, and then start wrapping. And the USB hub end is brown on the outside and black on the inside. So again, I'll just start taping those up. Alright, so the glove box has got to come out, which they're a little bit different, just a hook on that way. So you just push those ends in, pop it down, and then it just comes off the clips. So pretty easy, and then you can get up into here, run your wiring up to the top. Righto, so we just got to pull this trim off so we can get to this. On the 3 you just take that strip there off. On the 6 you take this whole piece, comes off. So if you get in underneath that with your fingers, just give it a bit of a pull and work your way along. Work your way along. Wants to lift up that dash by the look of it there as well. So that piece just pulls out of the road. Get up to here, and then you got your wire down in there. So push on the button. Okay, to undo that 10mm in there, to make sure you don't drop it, I stick a bit of double-sided tape down inside my 10mm socket. Then of course I dropped it in there, didn't I? Doing it one-handed. Alright, so I've got a magnetic grab tool that I can use to grab that bolt out of there that I dropped. And you just grab this and pull it towards you. So you need that dash panel. Pull that out of the road enough to get it past. There we are. Alright, and then you got all the wires in the back. Right, once you pull that out a bit, you can see with the screwdriver, go down, push on the button, did you see that? Push on the button, pull it back out. So that's the stop start button. Then pull it forward a bit more so you can get to the back of the box. And you've got all of these to do. Pop that out. Pop that out. Blue one out. This is the grey one that you don't use again. The 2 new wires replace this one. From memory, it's long and it's awkward, and you need 2 hands for that one. Right, so they're all out. So then the unit can come down out here. So those 2 there are what you're replacing, where those other 2 new wires come and plug in. This wire here, that is the one. So we zip tie it and put a bit of tape around it, hold it back out of the road. All the rest go back in as they were. Zip tied out of the road, wrapped a little bit of that foam around it so it doesn't rattle. The new wires come in from in that side there. So I've just taped all that up. The whole lot is taped together with wire and harness tape. So that's out of the road there. Down in here I used a couple of zip ties in here and zip tied it to the top of there, which is how you're facing up the right way, and put a zip tie here. Again here, the old green one, I zip tied back out of the road. I'll wrap a little bit of foam around that as well. Now I've got all that plugged in to the bottom there. I just clip that back into place. I put a little bit of foam on there because that's going to sit down on the bottom there, look. I just got to clip those and put the head unit in and see if it works. So they're all plugged back in where they came from. Your two new USBs are over there and in the right order. Got the little stop start button to put back in. As you put it back in, I noticed it hasn't got a great deal of slack on it, so it's the annoying button you got to put in at the last bit. So up and in with this pretty much. Then get in underneath here and click that stop start button in. It's in underneath there. Righto, and then it just pretty much slides back into place. Pop it all back in. There you are. Righto, well that's wired up enough to turn on the ignition and try it. So home screen, keys on, which is why it's beeping, USB plugged into there, and I'll plug this into my phone. So I just changed my cable. It wouldn't work at first. I got a few different cables floating around. I just used a good data cable. And as I plugged it in, it asked you to enable Android Auto, and it's all up there and working, so as you can see, and then you just use the dial to go between them. That's just a different one. The one we did in the 3 was plug in there. It was a bit harder to get at. This one's a bit easier to get at because you don't have to pull the whole console out, you just take the top off. I hope that helps some of you out.